for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers 4 Age of Extinction Voyager class Slog. Another Dinobot that didn't appear in the movie, but it's a Dinobot, so we should be happy with that, I suppose. As you can see in the front here, you have his nice Optibotimus mode. You got the Transformers 4 logo down here, Transformers in the nice text along the side. You got the big open package where you can see the figure on the inside. On the bottom, authentic Transformer. Come on here to the back, authentic Transformer. You also see that it is part of the Generations line and that it is Voyager class. Back of the package showcases him in both his robot mode and his Dino mode, and also shows available Autobot drift. Then for his bio, it says Slog is low on brain power, even by Dinobot standards. He's slow, lumbering, and absolutely gigantic. When you're that big, most problems get stamped out pretty quickly, sometimes before you even know they're there. But what Slog lacks in brains, he makes up for in brawn. Anything he tramples snaps under his massive feet. The Dinobots know he can clear a path through any enemy line, as long as they point him in the right direction first. So much like Sludge from the original Dinobots, we got him in this Optibotimus mode, and he doesn't seem very bright, so I guess that's par for course when it comes to the Dinobots. And then you look here, I find this funny, it says that he's a pet. That's not, I don't know, but for the packaging, that's about it for him. So without further ado, let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Slog opened up and out of his packaging. And as you can see, he's a very large Apatosaurus, Brachiosaurus, Brontosaurus, long neck, whatever you want to call this. That it's a dinosaur with a very long neck and, well, actually kind of a stubby tail. His tail should be a lot longer. That's one thing that kind of stinks. Now, his tail should come down a whole lot longer. It's almost half the size that it should be, and you can see that it gets really pointy very quickly, so it's like it should taper off a little bit more. But generally speaking though, he looks pretty cool. He does have the whole spiky thing going. He's got some spikes on the shoulder bits right here. He's got these spikes on the back that kind of look like an upside down rib cage. It's kind of weird. It is a soft rubber. He does have a lot of those parts on there. This is all soft rubber. This whole back section right here is soft rubber. You come up here, this whole section soft rubber, and honestly the way they packaged it actually kind of warped it a little bit. It was like stuck out like this, but if you fiddle with it a little bit, and even if you tuck it underneath here, it kind of keeps it looking a little bit better. But the way that they actually had it was just something like this, and it doesn't look good. So yeah, because it's soft, you can kind of tuck it up underneath there and it makes it look a little bit better. He's got some nice detail here on the face. Got some silver paint right up at the top section here. He can open his mouth, and one thing that's kind of neat is he actually, I don't know how well you're actually going to be able to see that, but he's got a little bit of a tongue right there, which is kind of nice. He's got these nice teal-ish color eyes. But the name of the game with this guy is lots of spikes, and when you look at his accessories, he does come with a couple, and some of them are strange. You got these bits right here which look like guns but also kind of look like spikes as well. The instructions show you to, I think it's, I don't know, I think it goes on this one. Instructions show you to put them there. There's a lot of different possible combinations for this, or where you can put these. This can go right there, and you can have that. And then you have these, which, keeping in with the whole knight motif, he looks like he comes with a jousting stick, or lance, or jousting lance, I should say. You can tuck that in, and you can hold that in his robot mode, but he's also supposed to take these, and you slide these up underneath here, and then you can have this look for him, which this is kind of strange, but it's more spikes, and then you could maybe tuck it down if you wanted to just have a big shield looking thing here. I mean, it's a weird look for him. There's no question about him, but at least there's weapon storage with the guy, so I can't complain too much. One thing that I actually like doing, and like I said, you could put these in any number of different configurations that you may want. I actually like doing this. You put these here, rotate that, and then put this there, and then take this one out. Come on, get out of there. And put this here, and that also kind of helps to hold down his little front section, but I kind of like doing that. That looks pretty good to me. Kind of dig that a little bit, but again, it's a much more flat sort of look, so he could hit you, I guess. You can't really do much with these, although I guess you could. Yeah, you could if you wanted to put them right through there. I mean, the peg is, or the hole here is pretty long, so you could do something like this. Like I said, a whole bunch of different sorts of combinations for this, and you can still fold those down, and you can still angle those up. So really, it's your personal preference. I just, in general, don't like the way that these look. I think they're kind of lame, honestly. I mean, like I said, it keeps with the whole knight motif, which makes sense because, you know, the Dinobots were knights in the movie, so it's pretty cool. Now, for some size comparisons, unfortunately, because I only have, or I should say, the only Voyager version of Grimlock that I have is the one from the San Diego Comic-Con set. This is what you're basically looking at, and size-wise, I mean, they're both Voyager, so they scale fairly nicely, but for me, I honestly use the leader class Grimlock in my display, so this is what you're looking at for that kind of scale, which I think looks pretty good. I'm going to try and set these all back here, and we're going to bring in the rest of the Dinobots. And here you have them next to Scorn, Slug, Slash, and Swoop. One thing that I will give Hasbro credit for is they really are keeping the whole S name for the various Dinobots intact, which I think is kind of neat. But this is what you're basically looking at for all of the Dinobots. And honestly, I should bring in the final one since I have him, so setting him there. And here's Snarl, or whatever they're calling them. But again, this is the San Diego Comic-Con Dinobot exclusive, so now the retail one is not quite out yet, but this gives you an idea of all the Dinobots. Now, to transform him, he's actually fairly easy to do, but because there's so much bulk to this guy, it really almost feels like a lot of it is you're just pulling it away from him and flipping things around. It really isn't a very free-flowing kind of transformation. So bear with me, and I hope you guys can follow along fairly decently. First, what we're going to do is just get this, loosen this up, get that kind of away from the body, just like so. Come down here to the arms. You can rotate these. You can take this. You can tuck these out. Well, I guess you can put it the actual correct way, put it like that, something like that. It's going to rotate. Do it like that, pull that out like so. Basically, you have his hands that are going to come down, and they're going to be down like this. But keep it out of the way for right now. Kind of loosen this up, pull that away. And then this whole section here, you detach the tail. This section here, you pull apart, pull that apart right there, I should say. Rotate that out, rotate that, and you're really just kind of, like I said, folding things out and rotating around. You're going to put that there. You're going to come around here, actually, and this section right here, you have to pull this little bit out. It's kind of a pain to get to, so I'm going to just use a little thing to wedge it out. Pull this out like that. There we go. And then you rotate this around all the way, and then you're going to have a gap section right there that you can fold this down, lock that down just like that. Fold the foot all the way around, fold this around the leg, make sure that's tucked all the way in, fold this around, and then it tells you you got a little section right here that hangs out that you kind of sandwich these two little pieces around, but it doesn't hold on all that great, but you can just put it right there. Do that on this side as well. Fold this out, kind of get this out of the way. Try and pull. Nah. Don't have the fingernails to do it, and also don't have the patience to try doing it. Rotate that, and that fold it back in. Come on. We're gonna have a hard time with this. I can tell it's gonna give me a hard time. There we go. Fold that out like that. Fold this down and around like so. Bring that over. Fold the foot all the way down. And then you rotate this around and kind of push that in. You just kind of line that up there. And then take these. You're going to rotate all of this around like so. And actually, I think I have that the wrong way. So, yeah, there we go. Bring that around. Rotate it around like that. Then you fold these in. Then you bring these together like so. And then rotate these legs around there. It's probably easier in some way, shape, or form, and like I said, there's no real instructional way to go through this. It's just you flip things around, you pull it apart, and boom, you're done. These bits right here, you pull out like that. It kind of accordions on two different joints. So, oh, actually, sorry, you have to fold this. So bring this back in, and then you fold this back, and then you accordion this out like that, and then you accordion the other section down, so you have it looking something like this. Then fold this whole section down, this collapses, bring this in, this will lock into place right there. Fold this back, kind of pull this back a little bit more, fold this back down. You can swivel his arms forward like so, take the head of the dino, kind of tuck it down, just bring it up there, and position everything and get his legs standing there, and here you have Slog in his robot mode. And again, if you want to, I guess, complete the look, you can take these pieces here, you can peg them in there, you can do that on this side as well. His little attachment pieces are right there, so again, you can take these, you can peg that right along the back. You can then angle these however you want to, doing that on this side as well. Again, it's not a look that I particularly like. It's unique. I'll definitely give it that, but it's a weird look. But I mean, it is, I guess, him. I mean, it's nothing too bad. I mean, we've seen really crazy things before, but it just, for him, looks strange, I think. It's not something that I'm gonna ever display him looking like, so just taking these whole things back out. But again, you can see that he is a very bulky figure. There's one big problem that I have right here, is that this doesn't tab down or lock into anything. It's just loose and floppy. It's usually not that bad, except when you might be rotating these weird lances, and I guess you could take these and you can hold it like that, and then you can bring it in his hand and you can put it like so, where it has a weapon. But again, much like I think every Dinobot except for, I think maybe Slug, he's got the gorilla arm thing going where the elbows bend and the wrist is stuck upward, so he's constantly dumbbell curling. I really hate that. I wish they could do something else with that, or put a swivel in there or something just to make it a little bit better. But all in all, the guy looks really very cool. He's very brutish, giant, and just massive, and you can see that in this figure, and really does remind me of somebody that would go around using jousting poles or something. I mean, because they would have a lot of these extra pads and things on them, and it kind of goes along with that. The head sculpt is really very nice. You got some nice teal colored eyes right inside there, much like the color on this dino eye, so that looks really very cool. You get a very high look with him too. I mean, that's pretty intense. But he's just bulky, and it works for this particular sort of character, I guess. But it might throw some people off, and I can totally understand why. Now, for a size comparison, we're going to set him right there. And here we have him next to the Voyager class Grimlock, but again, the San Diego Comic-Con version, so it looks more like the original G1 Grimlock toy. And as you can see, they are roughly about the same size. Grimlock is a little bit taller, but Slog here just has a lot more bulk and mass to him. But again, for me, I don't necessarily like this scale for Grimlock. This is the scale that I like for him, and again, there's a big difference, but I just love Grimlock looking massive, especially when you bring in now all the G1 Dinobot characters. And this is cool. I really do like this. I mean, you got all 5 of the Dinobots representing the original Dinobots, but here in the new movie aesthetic, and I absolutely love it. I really think that all of them look great together. Now, for his articulation, like you could see, the head goes really far back. It looks left, it looks right, it has a
amazing range of motion on this. The shoulders move all the way around, but it is on mine really very tight. They move in and out, but it's very limited because of this upper shoulder piece here. You can see that that's about as far as it can move. He can rotate at the bicep, or the upper part of the bicep, I guess, and bend at the elbow. So you can, like I said, get him bringing the arms in a little bit more, but really that's about it. Now, for waist articulation, he does rotate, but again, you'll have this here that will kind of bump into things, but it's not bad. You can just lift it and get it out of the way. The hips here, though, they move forward and back, and again, this is kind of a mess because of these pieces right here, but you can get it moving forward and back. There is a lot of hindrance and a lot of stuff just hanging off of his crotch area, I guess, but you can move them in and out, forward and back. They rotate at the knee, they bend here at the knee. The feet, they move forward and back at the ankle. So pretty much standard amount of articulation is in the figure. It's really nothing overly extravagant, but it has all the articulation that you could possibly want. He's good looking though, and I mean, I think that aesthetically he fits very nicely with the rest of the Dinobots, and I just think he's a giant tank-looking dude, and I think it really works great here. All right, now to transform him back, he's again a bit of a fiddly mess. You just kind of pull everything apart and kind of put it all back together. I'm going to tuck away his hands because that's probably the easiest bit. Take these, we can rotate these out. I'm just, well, here. All right. Again, there's probably a good system for doing it, but I'm not good at it. So we're just going to angle that back, get that out of the way just like so. Kind of straighten this out. These are going to angle outward just like so, and then in doing so you'll be able to pull them back like, come on, something like this. Come on. Just, it's kind of tough to do. Pull them out, then bend it at the other, there it is, at that other joint. It's really stiff on mine, so you bend them inward, and then in doing so it opens this section up right here, and then you just tuck that down like so. We're going to rotate that around. We'll deal with all this stuff here in just a minute, but most of it's down here in the leg. So rotate these out, then something like that. And there's a lot of rotating in this whole section right here, and you kind of just do it until you get it in the right configuration. Lift this up, rotate these out like so. Take the little knee section here, tuck that in the back of the dino leg, and then rotate that out. And again, you're kind of just rotating a lot of this in a way that it's kind of a cumbersome mess. All right, get that round like something like that. There we go. And that's kind of going to be where it's going to go, right there, just like that. So kind of keep it like that. Now you're going to fold out this, and then you're going to rotate this. So tuck this up and under like that. Bring this up. I got this tail here kind of in the way. Really, the transformation isn't really all that much fun on this guy. So again, we're going to bring this whole section up like that, and then this, get this out of the way. This comes up, and it's going to tab together once I get the other one down. But this is kind of where you are going to want this to be. So again, do that on this side. Go ahead and pull this knee bit out. You're going to loosen all of this. This is going to rotate outward. Take that little knee section here. We're going to tuck that down inside the dino leg. Going to rotate the dino leg and then bring that down like that. I'm sorry, bring it around like so. Then again, it's kind of fiddly. Rotate this, take this section, the foot, rotate that up and around. Bring this up and over, and you're just bringing these halves kind of together like so. I'll make sure that this stays out, and then you bring these two sections together, and this middle section here is a hard plastic, whereas the outside is a soft plastic. So kind of grip it and then just push the two together. This section here, you then angle this kind of down, according that up and in there. There we go, just like that. keep these sections tabbed together. You can see everything's coming together, but it really is not a very fun transformation. I gotta be totally honest. It really isn't. And this section here doesn't feel like it's collapsed properly, so make sure that, there we go, make sure that that's collapsed on an angle. Then you bring these two halves together, something like that. There we go. And then that kind of rests right up inside there. Bring these legs down, bring them around. You can take this section here, you can fold this forward. It kind of just bulks up his leg on an angle like that. Kind of looks good. I like it like so. And then you bring that out as well there, kind of angling this up and over his little shin piece. Kind of bring this back. You got his head kind of went crooked. There you go, keep that straight. This whole section, kind of force this down. And then, like I said, you're just supposed to rest it down there, but I feel that if you tuck it underneath his little elbow or shoulder bits right here, makes things a little bit easier and kind of sits in there a little bit nicer. Kind of straighten out his head, and again, you know, I'm just kind of fiddling with things to get it back in its proper configuration. But once you're all said and done, there you have Slog back in his dino mode. Now, despite the fact that I really don't enjoy transforming him, I really do think that his dino mode and his robot mode look pretty good. It really does have almost a Rhinox feel to it in terms of being a slow, lumbering creature that could basically pulverize you by running into you. And even when you look at his robot mode, it even kind of looks like Rhinox. So for me, I mean, I really do dig the guy. As I said, the transformation really isn't that much fun, and it kind of takes some of the overall enjoyment out of it. But if you're a longtime viewer of mine, you know that I basically review things and scale them on 3 different criteria. How's the alternate mode, how's the transformation, and how's the robot mode. I think this guy clicks on 2 of those 3, but being that this is, well, a transformer and the gimmick is transforming it's hard for me to really recommend this figure. Now, a lot of collectors aren't going to be constantly transforming it back and forth, so that being said, it's not that huge of a letdown for me, but this is definitely one where I would say that kids probably wouldn't like this that much. It's not a fun transformation, it's not a fast transformation, and the only real satisfaction that I get is I'm done, and that's basically it. But if you're going for your, you know, the Age of Extinction dinosaurs, this is definitely one that you have to get. Now, this isn't the only version of Slog that we're going to get. There's a couple other versions, including an Amazon exclusive that's going to be really nice and done up to look like the G1 sludge figure, which I'm really looking forward to that, but that doesn't come out until December, so we have a little ways to wait for that. But in the meantime, this is a decent figure. And like I said, if you're collecting those Dinobots, well worth having. So if you are interested in picking this guy up, he is showing up very slowly at retail, or you can pick him up at Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description, you go to Big Bad Toy Store, and you can pick this guy up and add him to your collection today. But beyond that, that's about it, guys. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that you can keep in touch with me by liking my Facebook page at facebook.com/teambotimus, and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/Optibotimus. Also, I'd encourage you to check out my new website at optibotimusreviews.com, where you can see all my videos from the previous week, see what I have coming up for future release, and also get your very own Optibotimus t-shirt. And finally, guys, I'd also really appreciate it that if you like this review, don't forget to please like, comment, and share this video. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.